Hey y'all, come start my day with me while I tell y'all about a revelation that God gave me during a conference that I went to through an experience that he gave me. So I went to this conference with my sister. It was actually a blessing that I was able to go to the conference because I got free tickets to go, which is a whole nother story within itself that I'll tell you about later. Anyway, so we were at this conference and we were sitting in a certain seat. And then the section in the seat that we were in, it was great sections. It was great seats. We could see, we could hear. It was cool. We put our jackets and our notebooks in the chair while we went on intermission so that we can come back to our same seats. It worked the first intermission. At the second intermission, it didn't work. We came back and somebody else was in our seats. No problem. We just went up there and asked them where our things were, got our things, and moved to the back row. So we're sitting in the back row, but we weren't tripping. We didn't have an attitude. We were cool about the situation because we were just happy to be in the room. We were happy to just be in the presence of God. So as we're praising and worshiping, we're just getting downloads and revelations from God. It's just such a beautiful thing that's happening. And then the service starts. The last speaker goes on to speak. As the last speaker goes on to speak, their workers that were behind us, they just started talking. And we were like, oh my God. I was like, God, I really don't want to be distracted right now. I'm really trying to pay attention and focus on what you're telling me. Or what you're telling to me through the speaker. But I can't even hear because these people back here are talking. Be quiet. So anyway, one of the girls came up to the workers and she was like, y'all, it's an emergency. It's urgent. And she was like, it's 3 empty seats on the front row. In my mind, I'm like, girl, how was that urgent or an emergency? Please be quiet so I can hear this man talk. And I guess the girls didn't respond as fast as she wanted them to. So she came back and she was like, y'all, it's an emergency. It's 3 empty seats on the front row. It's urgent. Y'all do something about it. So a minute later, a girl comes and tapped me on my shoulder and she's like, hey, it's 3 empty seats on the front row. Do you want to sit in one? She was like, it's on the very first row. I was like, yeah. So then she asked my sister that was sitting next to me, and then she asked another girl that was sitting next to me that I didn't know. And so we all agreed to go to the front row. So the lady, she escorted us up to the front row as the speaker was speaking. So we were on the front row with Travis Green, Tasha Cobbs, all of these prominent people that's in this industry. And God gave me so many revelations through that situation. First of all, one of the revelations that he gave me was being at the back or being at the bottom isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes it's a setup for God to bless you. So if we weren't sitting on the back row, if our seats never got taken, that lady would have never tapped us on our shoulders. She wouldn't have came to us because we weren't available to her. We were only available to her from being in the back row. And there's so many other different revelations, but before this audio cuts out, one of the other ones is the first shall be last and the last shall be first. God said, I will move you from the back and put you on the front because that's what I do, because I'm a God that can do these type of things. And another revelation was, I'll bless you in the presence of your enemies. That's a story for another time that I'll have to get into on the next post or another post. But just know that being in the back or being at the bottom is sometimes a setup for God to bless you to get to the front. Love y'all. Talk to y'all next time.